is now 138 years ago since the two Catholic White Fathers, Reverend Father Simeon Lodell and Brother Aman, stepped foot in Uganda to start what would later change the country's history and destiny forever. And so, we start our journey taking it where it all began, a journey we shall follow up to their final resting place. Like the biblical Jesus born in a manger, a bumpy journey to the landing site is one clear testimony to the fact that big things usually grow from scratch. Although this place was the birth of Christianity, not a lot of attention is paid to it. Maram and dust with a swampy neighborhood is all that makes the place, and it is only the bypassing of planes landing and taking off from the nearby Entebbe International Airport that alerts you to the fact that the place has an important neighborhood. At Kigungu landing site, there is nothing unique about the site. It is just like any other landing site, typical of Uganda's landing sites. About lunchtime, and it is normal work schedule for the fishing community. Business is ongoing normally, with the fishermen preparing their nets and boats for probably the next evening's catch. The front view of what is now a church in memory of this historic day is used as parking space and the resting place by many. However, this dull reception takes us not off our mission. In a popular Catholic hymn titled Amansi ne Mapera, a Catholic choir sings out about the historical entry of the first Catholic missionaries, Father Simeon Lodell Pere, now known as Mapera, and Brother Aman's Delmas, known as Amansi. Behind the church stands the docking place of the White Fathers. According to archives from the Catholic literature at Kigungu, Mapera and Amansi left Marseilles, their native place, with the first caravan of White Fathers on April 22, 1878, and landed in Zanzibar on June 17th. The caravan then ventured on land into the interior of Africa. Of the 10 missionaries, 2 braved the wilderness northwards, crossed Lake Victoria, and arrived at this little-known site in Uganda. The statutes here show the 2 fathers in prayer in what one would describe as thanksgiving for probably a safe journey. Though quite messed up, maybe because of the lake waters, the place is idolized as one of prayer. A 200-seater church was erected in memory of this eventful day. However, the sight of decaying wooden windows and walls leaves one wondering whether the historical importance of this place has ever been taken into consideration. Although this is the case, Kigungu Church has through the times changed from the mud and wattle structure built by Bishop Edward Michard, the prelate who lived there in 1933 to 1945, to a baked brick and tiled building. The place first started as a pilgrimage site in 1960s, with the then parish priest, Father Joseph Cheine, and Samuel Wishers playing lead roles. The trips have today morphed into a revered annual pilgrimage by the faithful that gather here in their thousands. From here, the 2 White Fathers, whose final destination was the Buganda Palace, where they would meet the king, they moved to Bugonga Parish in Entebbe. An unfortunate event in the journey of Catholicism here in Uganda later became a blessing, as the 2 White Fathers had their boat capsized and clearly they had to get to the mainland. The next point of destination was here at Bugonga Parish in Entebbe. History as well was made here. We are told by the parish priest, Father Joseph Sebaiga, that the 2 men from Kigungu had tried accessing Rubaga on water using their boat, but it capsized. They then had to move to the mainland to Bugonga to find shelter where they could spend the night. Here, they set up a tent.
The tree in Uganda is called Muyinja tree. In English, the iron tree. It's a very, very big tree and an old tree. So you can imagine Catholicism has been with us in Uganda for over 138 years. That means the tree is that old.
This iron tree, or Mapera tree, as many know it, has its own uniqueness. Huge as it looks, it bears no fruit and rarely bears seeds. The parish priest narrates that attempts to have the tree propagated have remained futile. He, however, explains that some pilgrims have found immense value in the tree's bark and leaves.
Mostly the people coming to celebrate Martyrs' Day on 3rd June, especially from Congo. When they come, they go to Kigungu. From Kigungu, they come to our parish. Now, when they get here, they use pangs, they use knives, and they climb that tree to get the leaves and the barks of that tree.
An 800-seater parish church built here in memory of Father Laudel Omapera and Brother Amans is also considered instrumental in the Catholic Church. It is the second part from Rubaga that has the Uganda Matters canvas that was taken from Rome after their canonization. The White Fathers didn't stay long at Bugonga since their mission was to meet the king, from whom they would seek permission to preach the gospel. They continued on their journey and 2 days later arrived at Chisubi. This is where Chisubi Mapera Secondary School was built, perhaps in their memory. And here, another tree, Mapera also believed to have emanated from a pole of a tent erected for their shelter, stands today. Though the school has many trees around the compound, this historic tree strikes a difference. From afar, it looks like a tamarind tree that is carefully caged to protect it from pilgrims who initially threatened its existence. The Chisubi Mapera tree is totally different from the one at Bugonga Parish, both in size and stature, though with some similarities. The Chisubi Mapera tree also bears no fruit and no seed. Mapera Secondary School and a statue of Father Laudel are the memoirs here in place to remind all who visit of what took place here as Catholicism was being birthed in the country. In our next episode, we take you to their next destination, still with striking features. Mildred Tuhaise, NBS, Live at 9.